Can you guys actually believe? Good evening to everybody. How's everybody doing? Can you guys actually believe this censorship? I'm going to leave I'm going to watch your comments because it's about sharing and liking the live feed. If you share the live feed and if you like the live feed, the algorithm will be, you know, it will surpass the algorithm of the blocking. But can you actually believe this? Do you actually look at the live feed, man? Isn't it ridiculous what they're doing? Isn't it just ridiculous? I'm just I'm just asking a question. A lot of people are going to be upset or not upset. They're going to be like, you know what? Why you're not going live anymore, Blue? Why you're doing this? Why you don't want to go live anymore, Blue? And I will tell you, it's because of this. I prefer our podcasts. There are going to be, and this possibly in this incoming week, I got a new app that I'm playing around with, and I'm trying to get around it, because there's going to be different cameras. So I'm trying to figure it out, and it is difficult to figure it out because it's just, you're so accustomed to the typical app that is StreamYard, but we just adapted to a new professional, another most professional application right now that everybody's using it at a podcast studio, and it is really difficult to adapt to that one because it has so many priorities, and it has a lot of things that you can play around with, and really beautiful things. So it's going to be difficult for me to adapt to a new one, but it's just, isn't this ridiculous, people? Isn't this ridiculous? If you sum up the numbers that I got on Facebook of the following, plus the ones that they are in YouTube, that I'm live at YouTube and I'm live on Facebook, you got more than 100,000 people. And look at this. So a lot of people are gonna be like, "Hey, why you're not going live anymore, Blue? Why you're doing this? Why you're doing that?" Simple reason, man. This is why. We prefer the podcasts are going to be recorded, and that is it. They're going to be recorded and then uploaded, and then they're going to be premiered, and the hell with it. And it sucks because sometimes I like to comment and I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people when they're in the live feed, and I like to put their comments on the screen. But this is what censorship looks like. If we were, progressives, or if we were liberals screaming for family destruction, screaming for woke, and for the progressive leftism that is actually destroying the continent of America and destroying everything, believe me, I would not even have a problem. Nobody would have a problem right now. Nobody. If you were a progressive or if you were dedicated to just attacked, nobody will have a problem. But this is like really bad. And it's not only me. I'm just expressing what I'm seeing. A lot of people are suffering this. The only thing that we can do is just continue to do our job, and ultimately, not only that, just record and upload. That's the only thing that we can do. It's then later on you can get people watching it, and they can record it and play it and play it and play it consistently. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. Nice to talk to you guys on this morning. It is, just to be clear, 11:15 over here in our city of Tijuana, beautiful city of Tijuana, border with San Diego, California. Today, we are broadcasting from our renovated studio that has three places that we can put the cameras so we can record. But we wanted to talk, and also, the thing about going live now, it is that if you don't put a friendly title, that it has not to do with these linguistic barriers that the left has put on freedom of speech. That is, if it is not creating hysteria, if it is not fear mongering, if it is not conspiracy theories, if it is not QAnon, if it is not white supremacists, if it is not white imperialists, if it's not Christian imperialism. This is another one that I just heard today. This new Christian imperialism, it was, I saw a video today that I was like, what the hell is going on? I saw a video on social media which it was completely shocking to me that a person that is talking about Christian imperialism, and it was a drag queen, that it was on a service, on a Christian, on a service, on a religious service. I don't know what kind of service it was. And this drag queen guy was talking about Christian imperialism. And he was saying about transphobia, homophobia, xenophobia, fat phobia. That is, another phobia now. Supposedly that we are not supposed to be talking about obesity and overweight. That is a bad thing for your body, and you can ultimately, have complications of health. That is supposedly now oppressive for these people. Also, that this drag queen guy was preaching to his people that is about Christian imperialism, white supremacy, transphobia, homophobia, xenophobia, fat phobia, pronoun phobia, uh, fear mongering, creating hysteria at the border. Holy cow, that is. Imagine living yourself like that. Before we start touching on the topic of Title 42, imagine your life being that, man. Imagine that you walk in a store. I'm just going to put a hypothetical example. Imagine you walking into a store, and you're walking into a store, and then you don't get the response that you want at a 7-Eleven. Let's say 7-Eleven. Somebody responds to you in a way that you don't want, and immediately you're rhetorical. You're rhetoric. It is, you are a conspiracy theorist. You're fear mongering me. You're creating hysteria in my life. You are a white supremacist, a white imperialist. You are a Christian supremacist. You also are a transphobic, homophobic, pronoun phobic, xenophobic, fat phobic. And also, not only that, you're creating violence with your words. So that makes you a racist and a fascist and a misogynist and a bigot. And you're like, what the hell's going on? Imagine that. Isn't it crazy? The way that this is coming about, the way that this is changing, it's just, you cannot have a conversation with nobody anymore because and that is correct. You better be careful, Oscar Blue, of what you're talking about because everybody has their feelings. Holy moly, man. And this is so progressively growing in the United States. So progressively growing in the United States. Massively is growing in the United States, man. What kind of conversation are you going to have with this, man? Oh my God. Isn't it crazy? Thank you for joining in. We're going to talk about for a few minutes about Title 42. I'm going to put your comments on the live screen, and I will go first to the comment section of Facebook. I'm going to the comment section. Comment section. Sorry about my accent if it insults you or if it is oppressive to you. But I'm going to the comment section in Facebook. And I am going to basically ask you this question. What do you think it's going to happen with the new lift of Title 42? So this is what in December supposedly they're going to lift Title 42. My God, the volume again, it's I don't understand why it goes down and I'm getting why. I'm understanding why. So it's censoring the censor movement. It lowers down the volume. So intelligent this microphone. So I am going to go asking a question to the people in Facebook. What do you think it is going to happen in December with Title 42? Now it's going to be lifted for the NGOs and for these global organizations. They're saying that Title 42 it is an oppression and it is basically taking away the rights of immigrants to solicitate and to be, in the United States, soliciting asylum and refugee according to the law. But in the other hand, you will see that that is going to implement and to consistently incentivize the organized crime and the cartel to grow. That is a reality. There's nowhere that we can hide about it. It is not creating hysteria. It is not all this stupidity language that they use. It is the reality. The organized crime, they know about the policies in the United States of America, and they know about specifically what is going to happen if they remove Title 42. I'm not saying put Title 42, take away Title 42. I'm just saying I'm being unbiased and I'm just saying the complications about Title 42 being reinstated and the complications about Title 42 being taken off. So now you have Title 42 being going to be removed. What do you think it's going to happen in the next incoming days? I will put the comments in uh, in the comment section. I will read the comments. In the comment section in Facebook, and I will put some on the screen. Now, I will tell you, last time that it was no Title 42, this was what it was happening, and it is a reality. Panama was having a big problem. The country of Panama was having a big problem with the organized crime, how they were operating consistently in Central and South America. Traffickers and these travel advisors, better known as travel advisors, the borders between Necoclí, Colombia and Venezuela, they were having a humongous problem with trafficking of humans, and it was exacerbated so to the point that uh, and also wow, holy cow, we are being censored, manager. Also say the comments that are sent by via buy me a coffee or Facebook security. Okay. Okay. So that is going to increase again. That is going to grow again. The organized crime is going to they know they're not stupid. A lot of these people they think that the organized crime are just people that they just move people around through borders. No, they are really smart. They know what it's coming, and ultimately they know that that is going that Title 42 has been removed, and that basically it is going to the Title 42 is going to that it's been removed, and that here we go. So what do you think? Caravans are going to be moved again? What do you think? Caravans are going to grow again? What do you guys think? Because last time that the Title 42 was removed, there was multiple caravans. We walked with multiple caravans. I have walked with more than 10 caravans in my, you know, uh, in my day, in my basically in my experience. I have walked with multiple caravans in my experience, and as every time the Title 42 is being removed, every time the Title 42 is being removed, there is, massive growing of inflation in every part and every border. Now, supposedly, this is what the United States government is saying. Listen up. So they're saying that if Title 42 is being removed, that if they're going to remove Title 42 because of these organizations like the ACLU that they have been fighting for the rights and all this kind of stuff. So the Department of Homeland Security, according to the most incompetent strategist, that is Alejandro Mayorkas, uh, has said that they are going to screen the migrants to see who is going to qualify and who is not. Do you know how difficult that is going to be, and the responsibility, and how you're going to flood? How are you going to flood the immigration courts? Do you know how that is going to grow? Now, let me tell you how that is affecting citizens of Mexico. And I'm not saying, oh my God, it's because of the migrants, it is their fault and la la la. No, 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 no. It is because of the system and how every government it is being irresponsible with their legal processes on every border. Now, let me tell you how it is affecting Mexican citizens, the ones that they are processing their tourist visa, the ones that they are processing their work permit, the ones that they are processing for a residence in the United States. So supposedly is now that I have investigated a couple of places for you to obtain a appointment to see if you get approved for a tourist visa into the United States of America. If you are a Mexican citizen, it is taken up to a year for you to have an appointment to go see an immigration judge in the United States of America, an immigration officer, I'm sorry, in the United States of America. It is taken up to a year for you to have an appointment. And then you go over there to see if you can have an appointment with an immigration officer and see if you get approved. And if you get denied, you will have to wait another year. How crazy the court system and the immigration system, it is so flooded because of this massive influx that is coming to every border in the United States and also in Mexico, that is backfiring, and it's affecting citizens of Mexico that they want to do their process in another, in another circumstance, that is as a tourist visa. Now, asylum and refugee has flooded so many outdoors and so many outlets that now it is affecting the way that the immigration system it is designed for people to just come in at a massive amount, not through a port of entry, into a process with a filter. Now it is Shelly. Thank you so much for the coffees. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So thank you so much for the coffees. So this is how crazy it is. So how Title 42 is going to affect, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you how is it going to affect. The great legal Latino says, ladies and gentlemen, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Quick shout out to Legal Latino. Follow him at his page at YouTube. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. I have traveled to Guatemala, to the borders of Guatemala with Mexico. I have traveled through the borders of Honduras with Guatemala. I have traveled multiple times the borders of south of the border of Mexico with Guatemala, more than 15 times. Traveled through all the borders in the United States with Mexico, a lot of borders. But I will tell you, as soon as people know that Title 42 is going to be lifted, the lack of education to send a message of how the process of immigration is going to be done, that is the problem. That is the main problem. That all these global organizations, these NGOs, they don't send the message of how the process is going to be done. So you have multiple families, women, children migrating, thinking that it's going to be opened and they are going to be accepted left and right. When they arrived, and if the asylum claim it is not particular with what the law says they're going to be returned back. So the one that is going to be having the returnees, it is going to be the borders of Mexico, which right now in El Paso, in Juarez, it is the biggest problem. And I don't know if you guys remember, but at the last caravan that I was at, in my last report in the south of the border of Mexico, Mr. Steve Bannon asked me, Oscar, where did this influx do you think that is going to come in the next incoming months? It is, what do you think that is going to be? And I said, sir, they're talking a lot about going to Juarez. That is the border to El Paso. And also they're talking a lot about going to Yuma. Those are the places that they're having a big problem right now. El Paso, it is having a huge problem because they are overflowed. Juarez, they're having a huge problem because they're overflowed. People are sleeping in a canal next to the border. You guys have seen it. And the government of Mexico has removed migrants from the canal because they're waiting for Title 42 to be lifted. How sad is that? Living in a canal. So it is the aftermath, the effect that is going to come after thousands and thousands are going to arrive again, and the thousands that they are awaiting again for their cases to be heard. The problem is going to be if their cases are going to be legitimate cases of asylum. Now, this podcast thing that I am starting, it will have multiple guests with experience on the topic of asylum and refugee. And also, we are going to talk this week with a migrant and a journalist now. He's a journalist and a migrant from Venezuela. We are going to talk to Venezuelan journalists that they have migrated because of this catastrophe. And what do they think about this current migrant situation with the Venezuelan people into the world? One of them is possibly going to be tomorrow, and I will post the hour that this is going to be released. And we have also Venezuelan migrants that they are in Europe, that they're going to talk about the influx that is happening also in Europe and how the borders in Europe are being completely overwhelmed consistently because of these open border policies. So it is so important to have multiple guests from a variety of the places where they are experiencing this. Not you're going to hear it from me. You're going to hear it from the actual people that they have suffered these consequences and what do they think about a mass migration. All of them, they do not agree that a mass migration and an irregular migration, it is a solution for countries. All of them, they do not agree with that. The problem right here is when it is going to be resolved. In Title 42, if it is going to be lifted on December, I don't know what it is going to happen to every border again. We already know what it's coming. We have experienced it before. The necessity, the vulnerabilities of the migrants, walking for thousands of miles, migrating for thousands of miles, walking through different countries, risking their lives to different countries. And that is going to come again. So what is next for Title 42? I'm listening to your comments. Let's go to Facebook, and we are going to listen to comments on Facebook. Let me just go right here to the live feed. It's unbelievable, the censorship in Facebook, man. It's just unbelievable. I'm just going to continue with this. Let me see. Somebody, Linda Bowen, says that it will get worse. That is a comment. Lori Wheeler says more problems for everyone. I'm gonna read a comment from Barbara. Says thank you for Oscar for all you do for us, keeping us real good news. I don't know what this comment has to do with the live feed. I do not know. Religion has nothing to do right now with this comment. So I really do not. Religion has nothing to do with this comment, my brother. So please keep religion out of this. You're free to write whatever you want, but religion has nothing to do with this. I'm going to YouTube now to read your comments to see what do you expect about this Title 42 wave. And let us go right here. So a lot of people are having a problem with the live feed, and it is not me, people. It is not me. Just for everybody to understand. If you guys would like to break the algorithm and be friendly to the algorithm, like the video, share the video, like the video, and share the video. That's a way that we can help the algorithm and your comments to be seen. There's a comment says Sharon Lee says we know just like they know, and they are doing this intentionally. Well, it depends on who are you talking about that they're doing it intentionally. Who is they? Who is they that they're doing it intentionally? It depends on who you're referencing to. Charlie Cruz says human trafficking on a global level. It has been happening for a lot of longest of time. It is difficult to not, and the problem right here is that I am going to be completely honest with you guys. It gets me so upset and to a point that I do not understand these NGOs. I literally I know what you're doing. A lot of NGOs, they're legitimate, they want to help, but a lot of them they're making a lot of money, and it is the reality. You cannot hide about it. But we need support, Oscar. Get the hell out of here, man. You know. But it's something that you're making a profit and you're helping. But another thing is for you to not say the truth or what is really happening with these people. And it's sad to just keep it away and to just, keep it hiding. And it's sad. Why are you keeping it hiding that trafficking of children, trafficking of people are getting hurt, people disintegration of family, that is another thing that is really important, that they're disintegrating the family. Why? Because the father is migrating and leaving his family because of necessity, poverty, and violence. So the family unit is being disintegrated completely. You don't have a family, you don't have a base. You don't have a base, you don't have a home. You don't have a home, you have a disintegrated family. So that is, particularly one of the things that these NGOs are not even talking about it. They're not even saying anything about it. It really pisses me off in a way that I'm like, okay, we know that you're trying to help, that you're making a profit out of this, but what is can you send a message of what is really going on with this current situations of people being abused when they're migrating, people suffering when they're migrating, people, men traveling with minors that they're not even theirs, men putting minors in the front lines in these caravans with a confrontation to the National Guard? Is that okay? Oh, poor people. No, poor people. No, you're not supposed to do that, man. You're not. There's a process. Every country, it is a sovereign nation. They have an immigration process. I'm sorry if it is not the same as Nicaragua, Honduras, and El Salvador. It is not the same when you arrive to Mexico. It is different. And that difference is because every country has a process. And a lot of these people, they don't understand that. But add to the fact that you have these American, progressives, that they're coming and they're implementing their idea that no, it's freedom for all, open borders, no walls, no USA at all. It's like, what the hell, man? If it's no borders, no walls, you're gonna have a lot of illegalities in illicit activity in the borders. Still, you have a lot of fentanyl, drug abuse in Mexico. that is complicating the situation in the United States. A lot of United States citizens are coming to Mexico and use fentanyl, and vice versa. And a lot of people are talking about fentanyl, fentanyl, fentanyl. Yes, we know that there's a lot of massive trafficking of that, but where's the solution for it? Have they created a program for it, a rehabilitation program for it? Have they created a way to stop it? Have they created a way to attack it? Have they created a way to just to basically a program for it? Have they done something about it? That's the next step. It's okay to signalize, because we know that there's massive trafficking of cocaine, and with the Central American and South American cartels all over the world. That's the reason why William Barr put a bounty on the head of Nicolas Maduro when he was in government. He put $15 million on Nicolas Maduro's head, because they say that Nicolas Maduro, it is collided and working with the Soles cartel in Central and South America, and they're the greatest distributors of guns and cocaine all across the globe. But if you already know that there's a huge distribution, what is it doing about it? What are you doing about it? That is the current situation. What are you doing about it? And there's no solution right now for it. There's none. So, the United States has a big addiction problem, huge addiction problem, big. There are programs doing about it. And the biggest state that has an addiction problem, you guys already know who it is: California. California has the biggest addiction problem. Do you see somebody doing something about it? Is it getting fixed? Huge problem. So it's something that, something is different between Miss Jan. Thanks so much for the coffees. Thanks so much. God bless your dear heart. God bless your dear heart. Thank you so much. So I don't want to fight with nobody right here in the live feed, man. I don't want to get into it with an argument. I don't want to get into it with an argument. There's a comment right here that I'm says the U.S. don't want Venezuelans. So who do you want? What a comment. What kind of comment is that, man? Provide me a solution. Instead of, we don't want nobody. We don't want this. We don't want. We're full. Let us close. Oh, my God. I'm so tired of that one. We're full. Let us closed. Oh, provide me an answer that is a legitimate, intelligent answer. Not the, we're full. Well, it's closed. Oh, my God. Can you provide a legitimate answer? What is going to happen with Title 42? And that is another thing. And that is a thing that basically we will see what it's going to happen. It's comment right here. You don't want opinions, turn it off. So you're telling me basically what to do in my live feed. That's great, boss. Thank you so much. Welcome. Do you want a glass of water? Do you want a cookie? What kind of cookie do you want, master? Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News correspondent for Real America's Voice News and the Wendy Bell Radio Network. What is going to happen with the Title 42? We have a lot of experience with traveling with caravans and what can happen with disintegration of families in terms to unaccompanied minors. We have seen so many unaccompanied minors. And the number is just right there. The Department of Homeland Security, it is just giving you the number. Giving you the number right there. In 2021, more than 34,000 unaccompanied minors have traveled into the borders of the United States of America. And right now in this year, you have more than 17,000 unaccompanied minors that they have arrived into the borders of the United States of America. Is there a problem with unaccompanied minors? It's a big problem. We have talked about this. What is the United States going to do with the unaccompanied minors? What are they going to do? That's a big problem. Let's see what they're going to do, because we have talked about this before, and we did a live feed, a huge live feed about it. Uh, there's a comment right here on the comment section, and let me just go right here. Where is it? But where is it? At YouTube or on Facebook? YouTube or Facebook? I'm trying to find it right here. I'm trying to find it, but you're sending me a comment, but okay. Uh, yeah, but where is it? So I'm trying to look for it. So thank you so much for joining in. We're talking about what is going to happen with Title 42, and I'm looking for the name in the comment section. It's confusing. It's confusing. Really, it's confusing. Trying to do the best that I can to understand. I thought that it was a comment, so I was going to put it on the screen. It's confusing. Um, I am trying to understand what is the future, and we have traveled to multiple caravans, and we have seen how many unaccompanied minors have come in these caravans, and how these adults, some of them, they used the minors as a shield to break barriers into every National Guard confrontation. They put the childs in the front. Even the National Guard officials, they say that these migrants are cowards for putting using a child to break to break a shield or to break a barrier of the National Guard in the front. So it's sad that they do that. It's sad. It's sad that they use that to break a shield and to try to accomplish to move forward. But it's a strategy and is a way. And you know, it's sad to say that. How bad these comments sometimes are. And look at these comments, man. Look at these comments. How bad it is. So we need to understand the disintegration of family, where it comes from, Central and South America. We need to understand that when you have unaccompanied minors migrating through a fake family, through a fake matrimony, uh, through a current situation, which is, a vulnerable situation. You have a unaccompanied minor that it was released by the parent and says, you know what, go ahead and go with the coyote. Go ahead and go with the travel advisor. God bless you and see where you can go. So you're already disintegrating the family, or you have their parent. It is in the United States of America, and they're traveling alone. These children are traveling alone, man, with all these people that they don't even know who they are. They don't even know who they are. The disintegration of family, it starts from that, and it has to do a lot with immigration. Let me read a comment right here that is put on the screen. On the screen. So let me see. It says Dinesh de Souza, wife is a Venezuelan migrant who she works towards the betterment of Republicans and fights against socialism. There you have it. So I'm testing this microphone, which I believe that it sounds beautiful. That is the microphone that Tim Pool and Joe Rogan they use, which I believe that is the best microphone out there right now. Best microphone out there. Which the only thing that I don't understand is why it goes down on the volume right there. Like a few times it goes down, and it is annoying. But it is what it is. So we're testing this, and the next incoming days we're going to have really interesting podcast. Apparently, Let's see if we can go live or not. I don't think that it's going to be something that we're going to do. We're going to basically record it and then upload, because this is getting really bad. It is just disgustingly bad, the censorship, which is, it's upsetting. Whether you like it or not, it's upsetting because we're trying to do what we're trying to do, but they're not letting us. It's okay. We will continue to do what we do, and and move forward from it. So in the next incoming days, you're going to see a couple of good live feeds, a couple of premieres that are going to be on Facebook and are going to be on YouTube, also on Getter, and you will see those premieres of interviews with me and Venezuelan journalists. They're going to talk about the reality. If the question of those live feeds is going to be, is the United States turning into a new Venezuela? And if it is, I want you to listen to every single strategy that the Marxists used in Venezuela. These are legitimate journalists from Venezuela that they're coming and they're going to explain in English that that is a beautiful thing. And they live now in the United States of America, and another one lives in Mexico, but it's, an international journalist. These people are going to explain to you what are the strategies. So I will ask every single thing that is happening in the United States, like radical movements, progressive leftist movements, radical destruction, rioting, looting, violence, open borders, all this kind of stuff that is happening right now to the United States, inflation. I will explain and compare it to what happened to Venezuela. And they're going to open up and say, you know what, that actually happened to us. And this is going to happen. This is the next step. This is where they're moving, because these people already experienced it. I can talk about communism and socialism because, I have read the manifesto, more than a couple of times. And I walk with a lot of migrants that they're coming in from communism and socialism, and that is Cuba and Venezolanos, and also right now to a dictatorship that is going Nicaragua. So I have asked and informed myself the multiple times, sit down and talk to them and say, like, hey, this is happening, this, and that. So I listened and I put attention to what they're explaining. So the next step is for us to put people that they actually legitimately experienced it and they lived it and they lived through it. So it will explain to the American population, to the American people, that what the hell is going to happen if they continue, if people continue to be passive, if people continue to not do anything, if the government, not the people, let me rephrase that, if the government continues to not to do anything about it, because the people are trying, they don't want it, they're sick and tired of it. A lot of good, good patriots are fighting. A lot of people want to come into government and do good things, but they are being accused and oppressed of being a bigot, of being a racist, of being a fascist, of being creating violence, transphobic, homophobic, xenophobic, pronophobic, fatphobic, all these phobias that they're creating now. Everything is phobia now. Everything is phobia. If you say, hey, I was first, sir, and you're like, I'm not, sir, I am a she, him. I don't know how to talk in pronoun language. Oh my God, you're creating violence towards me right now. It is so humiliating. Oh, so all of that is going to be put into in the next incoming days. I need to play around with this app, this new app that we're going to put on the screen, and it is just it's a hassle to do it because I love my work. I enjoy my work, and you have to love what you do to for what you, when you're doing it, you're loving it when you're doing it. So I love what I do. So but it's such a, like, you got to put the camera over here and over there and see if they're all connected and la la la. So it is, it's going to take me a day to do that, but eventually we will get it together and we will put it on for people to enjoy our broadcast and enjoy our podcast, and for people to just basically uh uh, you know, uh, to listen to our interviews. First interview possibly is going to be a male. He's a journalist that writes for a column in Europe. And also, he has his own network with another colleague of his that she is an international journalist. She has worked on terrorism in Israel and also in different parts of the world. She has given multiple conferences. She's a really impressive and intelligent woman from Venezuela, also a journalist from Venezuela. And multiple people that we are going to have, young, people from Venezuela coming in and explaining to all of the American population and to us, the Mexican population, of what the hell it can happen if we continue to be like this. If we continue to let these people, like what is happening in Brazil, look what is happening. Hundreds of thousands of people are rising. And these hundreds of thousands of people, they're basically protesting because they feel that the election was not correct and it was not handled correctly. And, inefficiencies happen in that election. That is how they feel. So that's hundreds of thousands of people. They're doing that. So thank you for joining in this evening. I just wanted to drop by, say hello to every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining in. We will see each other in a few days, doing a podcast now, new app, new positioning of all the things inside the studio. And also, I want to say thank you to all of you for your, beautiful support, which has been nonstop. And, thank you for your support as we grow more every day. It's just beautiful to receive the multiple support from you guys. Thank you, and thank you so much. God bless you all. Follow me at Facebook, follow me at Twitter, follow me at YouTube, follow me at Getter as Oscar Blue Ramirez. So you can follow my colleague and brother Ben Berquan, Frontline America, Real America's Voice News. Also follow my brother, Real Anthony Agüero, at all platforms. And, Wendy Bell Radio Network, the app, it is free. Go to the App Store and you can download the app. It is free at the App Store. Again, the volume went down. I really do not understand why it goes down. Just kidding. I need to figure that out. So thank you so much for joining in. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love, because always your country's first. God bless. We're in the middle of everything. They're carrying a child. Look at this. They're carrying a child. Look at this. This is horrible.
Ustedes tienen familia, somos inmigrantes, no somos delincuentes. Somos inmigrantes, no somos delincuentes.
Discúlpeme, oficial. They have encapsulated them. They're pushing. Now they're pushing. Some of them, they're escaping underneath to the ranches. Look at this, man. They're throwing rocks. They're hitting the National Guard officers. Throwing rocks over here.
Gosh, what a scene to see really unfolding here, and having them use that rope so that they're all able to stay together is really interesting to see all this happen, Oscar.
Violence and homicides. Due to this factor, the military was moved to Tijuana. Entry of San Isidro next door to the city of Tijuana, Mexico. But migrants looking for asylum from Ukraine arrived to the
Roto, señores, las barreras. Ya no los pueden controlar. They have broke the barriers. They cannot control them.